right, welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. I hope you're having an amazing week so far. Let me get you started with the quote of the day. It's from Robert Kiyosaki, and the quote of the day is, if you don't fail, you don't succeed. If you don't fail, you don't succeed. That's a great quote. In fact, I always think of that. Over the years, I've had Robert Kiyosaki speak for me at a couple of different events that I've done. And I always think of that because I remember his saying where he said, if you really want to be successful, you've got to fail 5 times faster. And I think that really is the key to success. What he's trying to say in that quote is that if you don't push through failure, if you don't expect failure, you're not going to succeed, because failure is that gateway to success. It's that learning curve that you're going to get to success. Now, I want to remind you that the Daily Mastermind is here every day with a small dose, weekdays, to be able to help you create your best life. Really, it's that inspiration, education, motivation, whatever it is that you need. I'm hoping to give you just something, some golden nugget you can take throughout the week. And then we have weekly interviews as well with success thought leaders, experts, individuals in business or whatever it is that can help you as well. And I'll throw in some occasional trainings when it comes to some business topics. But this week, I want to remind you that we're focused on prosperity pillar number 4, which is surrounding yourself with positive people. And I'm spending a bunch of time really sharing with you one of the keys to success I gained from one of my mentors, Robert Stuberg. And one of the keys to success that he talked about was the daily reminders. Daily reminders. We've talked about that a little bit. So let me ask you a question. Do you continuously ask for less problems, or do you ask for more strength? Are you asking for less problems, or are you asking for more strength? I remember when I was growing up, in fact, all through my business career, I was growing, in fact, at one time, one of the largest education companies in the world, and we were doing a couple $100 million a year. And that's actually when I met Robert. And I was pretty overwhelmed. Most of my life I've been overwhelmed because I've been kind of a high achiever, maybe like you, always taking on more responsibilities than I really wanted to take on. But I remember being really overwhelmed because I had, 300-400 employees. We were running events all over the world. We had our own marketing and travel and all kinds of different things. And, I was constantly looking for a way to avoid problems and situations and find ways to create safety around processes. I was always looking for ways to get rid of the uncertainty and get rid of random things that could happen by tightening down the ship, so to speak, right? But guess what? I never did really figure out how to avoid the problems and the situations and the circumstances, and more importantly, the uncertainty. Avoiding uncertainty is just not something that, even if you could do, you really wouldn't be satisfied with. Tony Robbins talks about the fact, in the 6 human needs, he talks about the need for certainty and the need for uncertainty. But I remember Robert telling me one time, he said, listen up, and I want you to listen to this really carefully. Because I used to do sessions, I paid him quite a bit of money as a mentor to, when I was the CEO of this large company, to give me advice on how to avoid things that I couldn't control and to be able to sort of place control over things that were happening in the business, which we just can't really do. And this is what he said to me. He said, George, the quality of your life will always be in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty that you can comfortably live with. I want to tell you that again. Think about that for a second. If you're wishing for less problems, or you're wishing for, things to get lighter, the quality of your life, and I would add your success, is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty that you can comfortably live with. Remember, problems are really just ways for you to grow. Situations and circumstances, they're things that you can do to level up. And that's why we always talk about not wanting less problems, but wanting more strength. And if you want to push to levels you've never been to before, you have to experience problems you've never experienced before. That's the bottom line. And so remember a couple of things. He also mentioned, and he went on to tell me, as we spent time together, he says, remember something else. Nothing or no problem. And I want you to really think about this. Remember that no problems are entirely personal, pervasive, or permanent. Personal, pervasive, or permanent. What does that mean? Well, the bottom line, and think about that for a minute. I want you to really think about it. None of the problems in your life are personal. Maybe you think the meaning you're giving them is that they're attacks on you, or that you're always having these situations, or they continue to come up. But when you adopt the philosophy that nothing's personal, then you can handle it a little bit better. And they're also not pervasive, meaning they're not so overwhelming and consuming that there's no way to solve these problems. And also they're not permanent. And this is the one I love the most. No problem in your life is permanent. Everything in life and business and relationships, everything has seasons, everything has cycles. And it's like you're hearing lately, maybe you're in the winter. Maybe you're in the winter, but make no mistake, the springtime will come. Make no mistake that the seasons will pass and then problems will pass. And so let me give you a strategy that might be able to help you. It helped me. Create a power statement that you can repeat, some kind of an affirmation. You can, when you're starting to feel that negativity sweep in or that overwhelm of uncertainty, tell yourself, like for example, I'll say, I'm amazing. I have the strength, ability, determination, and resolve to focus on solutions, not problems. I'm grateful for the problems in my life because they give me the knowledge, experience, and wisdom to help everyone else to create the best versions of themselves. And it allows me to unleash my potential and create my best life. Create a statement, create some kind of a power phrase that you can use to help you. Because remember, nothing's permanent, nothing's pervasive, and nothing's personal. And, it reminds me, just in my kind of final thought to you today, of that quote from Shakespeare's play Hamlet. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. There's nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Your meaning that you give to events in your life are going to be what determines how you react to things in your life. And just remember that the amount of uncertainty that you can live with, and there's a lot of uncertainty right now, the amount of uncertainty you can live with is in direct proportion to the quality of life that you're going to live. And so I hope that's a message that'll help you today. Think about that as you go throughout the day. Tomorrow I want to talk to you about 5 steps that you can use to stay on track to your goals, or get back on track if you're not on track right now. And so tomorrow we're going to talk about those 5 steps. For now, do me a favor, share the show. Share this Daily Mastermind episode. If you got something out of it, share it and help us spread the message. That's my message for today. Once again, I'm George Wright III, and this has been the Daily Mastermind. Have a great day.